All right, KMR Rotary engines. We're checking out a turbo RX7 front housing, front side plate. And this is again why I think lapping is important. Resurfacing side housings, definitely more important than the internet gives it credit for. Not only has it been an industry standard for years to get side housings resurfaced, but in any other form of engine block rebuild, generally to do a good rebuild, you'd be resurfacing, flattening, decking, making sure things are round, whatever it may be. So in the rotary world, replacing your rotor housings and flattening your side plates is your equivalent. If you can't get all new, this is the next best thing. And in this case, we're trying to save somebody's component that basically is a discontinued part or very hard to find part at this point. Mazda on and off has been discontinuing and bringing back some of the different rotary side housing side plates. And in this case, we can't get a new housing right now. So the only option is either a used replacement or resurfacing. And you can see we've got these big round swirls. And that's an indication of usually having the rotor gear make contact with the side plate. Now, this can be a massive over rev. This can be a rotor issue. The gear can be walking out. It can be also a lack of oil or the beginning of a bearing failure. The customer did not exactly tell me what occurred. They just said they had some problems and they wanted to see if this plate could be salvaged. And right now, you can see we're about halfway through. I wish I had grabbed the camera when I first saw this plate. But you can't win them all. This one I threw on the table, started working on it, and thought to myself, I should definitely chat about this. You can see you've still got some wear right here. So this is just your general pattern, general wear. And you don't want your side seals, your corner seals, any of your new seals to instantly wear in on old wear paths. You can also see we've got a little scrape right here and a little bit of maybe water damage or scrape right there. So this housing itself had some imperfections around that weren't even related to the typical wear, but we're going to be able to get rid of all of that. You can see we've also been able to clean up the water seals all the way around, so now we've got great ability to have metal-to-metal contact on your rotor housings, hopefully new rotor housings, so you're much closer to being backed to factory spec. Now, within this housing, we still have a little bit of material that we are within the allowable specs to remove. So we're going to continue to lap this down, and I expect these metal-to-metal contact, these swirl, scrape, burn marks that were left by the rotor to completely go away. In this case, I think we're going to be successful at easily bringing this turbo RX7 rotor housing back from basically the dead, because with this type of damage, this was basically unusable. The wear was also a problem, but these aggressive grind marks were very rough. They were deep, about 1.5 to 2,000 inch deep, and they needed to be cleaned up. You couldn't have your seals running across that path. It's part of probably why this motor came apart. It was eating itself up. So we're going to continue lapping. We're going to be able to save this component. Sometimes the lapping process or resurfacing process is not just about your day-to-day rebuilds, but even more importantly, about being able to bring back components that are either valuable, irreplaceable, not available, and about putting engines back into a more like OEM condition than just throwing used parts back together. So that's a little discussion here. We're going to keep on lapping this. Update in a moment. Internet magic. And with a BRAP, we're back. Just like that, time travel internet magic. So this particular front housing had some extreme wear, most likely bearing failure, the rotor making severe contact with the side plate. Luckily enough, after some extensive lapping, checking, continuing to work on this, we were able to bring this back to life within OEM specs and OEM tolerances. So this is a great example of how we're able to fix a part that's no longer available from Mazda that was not usable. So don't throw those irons away. Don't throw those components away. Rotary parts are getting more and more rare, harder to come by, and it's more and more viable to bring these back to life with whatever means necessary than it is to just throw them away. Now, everybody always has that concern. We hear it all the time. I may have mentioned it in the previous portion of this video, but obviously when you're lapping, you are removing material. That is removing nitriding, but in my experience, 20 years plus, the nitriding is not that significant, and it is penetrated a few thousandths down into the material. So as we remove a couple thou, generally you've still got some nitriding, still maintains, that decent hardness, and I don't see lapped components come back with failure. That's just not what happens. These components go away. They go get 100,000 miles on them. They last for years. They go into race cars. It's been an industry standard for the rotary engine for a very long time. Now, something I've ran into recently is we've had more and more enthusiasts around the world say, hey, I want to take these to a machine shop, just have them ground. Obviously that's going to be the same thing. Unfortunately, it's not. We've had a couple sets of housings. I've even got a set in here right now, which were ground at a machine shop, but the surface finish is way too rough. It's one of the reasons that lapping has been the standard for rotary engines. Is lapping, we're able to get a finer surface finish that's closer to a polished finish. So when you get your lapped components back, not only do you need to clean them, but putting a little surface polish on them is in our cleaning instructions. So once again, I'm a big fan of lapping, being able to basically turn trash back into a beautiful rotary engine component. That's what it's all about. So if anybody has questions about lapping, services, porting, studding, we're launching a new website soon. Everything should be available, a little bit clearer and accessible. We've also got rotary consultation calls available. So if you're trying to build something extreme, or you just have questions about your project, hit up KMR. We're always selling parts from Mazda Tricks, and we're out here just trying to have fun with the rotaries, keep them running, keep them brapping. That's what we're all about. So I think that's a brap. There you have it. It's good to go. Clean it up, back in the motor. Ready to rock. I'm out.